The Immersive Digital Experiences Alliance is a non-profit industry association developing a family of royalty-free technical specifications to enable the digital future. Our members bring world-class experience in light field and holographic imaging, distribution networks, and content creation. You can learn more at immersivealliance.org. The IDEA Specialized Contract Track consists of 8 segments covering all aspects of immersive media. In this segment, we'll discuss progress on enabling immersive communications.
Hello, my name is Gibson, and I'm one of the co-founders of Pluto VR. Our purpose as an organization is to help humanity transcend physical location so that people can connect, communicate, and collaborate as if they're in person. I'm here today to talk about immersive communications. So, what is immersive communication? Put simply, it is a mode of connection that follows many of the same physical rules that we experience when we are talking to someone in person. We have all seen examples of this in popular science fiction movies. People will appear to each other as holograms in the same room with them. So I'm going to break down the different attributes of what we have learned about immersive communication to date, and how it compares to traditional forms of remote communication that we have all experienced. Where today, in voice or phone calls, you hear other participants' voices as mono audio streams, whether they are coming out of speakers or a pair of headphones. In immersive communication, you hear others spatially. Their voices sound like they're coming out of their mouths. When you move around or rotate your head left and right, their voices still remain in the same place relative to you. This is just like how we experience sound in real life. In video chat, you are looking at a video of others looking at a video of you. Depending on the location of the screen and the webcam, the difference in eye lines can be more or less significant. There is no inherent or consistent relationship between the screens and the cameras. There is a common practice among those who are more experienced in video chat to look directly at the camera to provide a more personable and connected experience for those on the other side. But what happens when two experienced video chatters get on a call together? They both end up staring at their webcams, and neither person is actually looking at each other. They might as well be back on a voice-only call in this situation. In immersive communication, you are looking directly at the people you are talking to, and they are able to look directly back at you. This allows for things like eye contact to exist. This can produce a much higher level of presence that is shared between the participants. Another attribute of video chat that we like to call the Brady Bunch effect or Hollywood squares is that there is no shared group positioning or spatial awareness of others. There are just a bunch of people put into boxes, and the location of everyone in each of these boxes is different for everyone else. Next time you're on a large video conference call, try to agree on who is where. You'll quickly find that the person to your left doesn't agree that you are to their right. When you want to speak directly to someone else, you have to specifically say the name of the person you are addressing, because there is no concept of looking at someone on a group video call. In immersive communication, the relative positions of those connected are shared among all the participants. This allows for natural group dynamics to form. When someone is about to speak, they will often lean in, and this natural signal is something that can be picked up by others in the conversation. When you want to speak directly to someone else, you just look at them, and if they see you looking at them, they quickly realize that you are addressing them and not someone else. This also helps with reading the room and getting a better sense for who is paying attention and who is distracted. Immersive communication gives you a much stronger sense of the people you are with. This does come with a new set of challenges and opportunities that don't currently exist in video or audio chat. When someone is having issues with their video connection, it can be frustrating. If their camera is blurry or the lens is dirty, it may reduce the quality of your connection with them. With immersive communication, the higher fidelity of the connection, the more likely you are to fall into what is known as the Uncanny Valley. This is a phenomenon where the more human-like a representation becomes, the more we like it, to a point. And then we fall deep into a valley of disgust and uncomfortableness. And then it comes right back up as the representation becomes human. Consider a rock. Not much to look at, it's just a rock. Now put some simple eyes on it and a mouth on it, well, it's getting cuter. You can even increase the cute factor a little bit more. However, if you keep going and making it more human-like, it starts to get creepy. If you were going to keep going and make it fully human, it's appealing again. This phenomenon is one of the most critical and difficult aspects of immersive communication. The assumed approach is to make everything as realistic and human-like as possible. However, doing this increases the risk of falling into the Uncanny Valley. The Uncanny Valley is also not limited just to the way something looks, but also how it moves. A stick figure that moves exactly like a human can be pretty convincing. Something that looks a lot like a human that moves in a very unhuman-like way can be very off-putting. As we provide a more immersive and compelling level of communication, we also start to see many of the same issues that arise from being in person. If someone gets too close, it can trigger a fight or flight response. Getting virtually slapped in the face can still cause a flinch response, even if you consciously know that it can't physically affect you. Risks of harassment or abuse go up significantly if precautions aren't taken to protect immersive communication users by giving them full control over who they are connecting to and how they are getting connected. In our work in Immersive Communications, we break down the process into a series of 7 steps: capture, track, interpret, transmit, reconstruct, augment, and render. Captured data. It could be a full-body 3D scan or a list of measurements for each part of their body. The film and video game industry has been using light stages for years to be able to capture data about actors to be digitized for future use. And even the latest iPhones have depth cameras and LiDAR to be able to capture much more data about people. Tracked data. Tracked data can be anything from a single point in space, like one you might see coming out of a mocap system, a virtual reality controller, or all the way up to a full-body skeleton. More recently, systems like the Oculus Quest are able to track hands in real time just using camera input without any additional markers. Interpreting the data. Once we have captured and tracked the data, we need to decide what to do with it. This step is important because the data being fed into the system isn't always reliable or accurate. Transmitting data. At this stage, we need to be able to transmit all the relevant information over the network to the receiving parties. Audio and video type information is common and currently used in all video teleconferencing systems. For immersive communication systems, we need to start adding new types of data streams to the mix as well. Skeleton data can help us transmit the simplest building blocks of what is needed to represent a person. We can extend video by adding depth using the RGBD streams. Light field formats will extend this even further, allowing for more seamless ways of compressing and sending 3D information over the network in more consistent, interoperable, and performant ways. Reconstruction of the received data. The receiving client then needs to be able to take the data that is transmitted and reconstruct it into a meaningful model of a person. Especially in a time before we have more standardized 3D transmission formats, we are left mostly with bespoke, one-off solutions for each of the different immersive communication providers. Augmentation. In the world of video chat, virtual backgrounds and face filters are becoming increasingly common. We see the same trend progressing with immersive communication as well. In this step, the base data, whether it is audio, video, skeleton, or light field reconstruction, can be augmented to suit the needs of the conversation participants. Render. This is the final step in the process, where the augmented reconstruction is presented to the receivers. This can be done via a variety of different spatial representation methods. If you are only experiencing immersive audio, then you could be wearing a pair of head-tracking headphones. VR and AR headsets are currently the most common form factors to deliver immersive communication experiences. Light field displays are just coming out on the market and provide a new way to experience immersive communication use cases without having to wear anything on your head. We are just at the beginning of this new transformation of immersive communication. There's still so much more to explore and learn, and think about how it will change our lives, the way we communicate, and how we work. If you have any questions about my talk, please feel free to reach out to me here. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us in this segment from the Immersive Digital Experiences Alliance. IDEA is a nonprofit industry group developing a family of royalty-free technical specifications to enable the digital future. You can learn more at immersivealliance.org. You can join IDEA, download the ITMF specifications or white paper, or just join our mailing list to stay informed. Thanks for joining us today.